Hello everyone, my name is Arya Vyas and welcome back to my YouTube channel Chess with Arya. Today once again we are going to review a game played by Morphy Paul against Maurian Charles, played in 1855 in Alabama. This game is going to show us how you can actually defeat a person who is also in higher rating of you only if you play well and follow the normal rules of chess. Because Paul Morphy is one of the best players, but Maurian has defeated him effortlessly in this game of only 12 moves and it's checkmate. So the first move played here was e4, gaining control of the center, e5, and over here Paul Morphy played the king's pawn sacrifice, and with f4 accepted, e takes f4, bishop to c4, queen to h4 check, and now Morphy played a very aggressive game, going straight for the attack, going straight to attack the king. Queen to h4, king f1, b5, trying to get the bishop off of the f7 square, bishop to d5, attacking the rook, knight to c6, knight to f3, attacking the queen, queen to h5, trying to create some pressure on the center squares with like d4 and pawn to e5 and all those squares. So white decided to take control and played the pawn to d4, knight on f6, attacking the bishop on d5 and attacking the pawn on e4 at the same time. So bishop to b3, bishop to a6, trying to create like a discovered check with b4 with the bishop on a6, queen to e2, pinning the pawn on b5, because once if he moves it, then the bishop on a6 will be for free. Knight takes d4, knight takes d4, trying to create an attack, b4, queen takes a6, queen d1 check, king f2, and knight to g4, checkmate. Now, this was a very short game of only 12 moves, but what can we learn here? First of all, over here, what was the purpose of the knight to d4? Here, Morphy played a very nice and very calm sacrifice. The main idea was to basically get a defender out of the king's side and create one defender less so that it would be easier to get into the opponent's side. One more thing is that this queen placed on h5 is very aggressively and very pointed faced. So now what can happen is if this diagonal gets cleared, then there's a straight attack on the square on d1, which is going to ambush the king. And what black has done in this is that he has distracted the pieces in front of the king so that he will be able to give a very easy checkmate. Over here, what else he kept in mind is that he kept creating threats. He didn't give any empty moves. When you create threats, you almost force your opponent to make a mistake because the opponent will get overloaded. The pieces will have to be overpowered. They will have to protect 2 or 3 squares at once. And once that happens, it makes it very hard for your opponent to not make a mistake or overlook some variation that you would have thought of. After that, so knight to d4 was basically trying to clear out these 2 pieces so that the queen would get a free entry to queen to d1. Knight takes d4, b4, attacking the queen moved away, he had no other choice, queen to d1 check, king f2, and knight g4 checkmate. And so basically this game concludes how you can take advantage of your opponent's open valves, and this wasn't a premature attack. Why? Because you had the proper pieces and the proper arrangement that you needed to give a checkmate. Many times players think that just because there is an opening diagonal or an open file near the king, there's going to be checkmate threats. No, that's not always possible. A square can only be called a weakness if you can attack it. If you can't attack it, then it won't be a weakness anymore. So even like the pawn on f7 or f2, it would always be like a weak point, but it's not a weakness if you can't attack it with maybe queen to f3, knight to g5 or something. If you can't do it here, you had the proper pieces and the arrangement to give a checkmate, and it was very well executed by black. I hope you learned something new in this video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.